She marked her territory, ladies and gentlemen, rather than merely giving him a hug. The internet went crazy when boxing's most fierce woman, Claressa Shields, shared a late-night Instagram story with a papoose as if she had just won a championship belt and the accompanying spouse. This was more than a friendly embrace. "I don't care" energy, and "I know your wife is watching." Complete and utterly scandalous silence, with no caption or explanation. Who is the wife? Oh, just the legendary rapper Remy, the same mom who is already immersed in court drama over her son's murder case, is also a Bronx bulldozer. And now this. According to insiders, Remy yelled, "Not today, Satan," shattered 3 phones, and went radio silence after seeing the news. Papoose. He hasn't said anything, not a clarification, not a denial, nothing. And you can tell a man is guilty of something when he remains silent as the world burns. Thus, what is Claressa attempting to prove something? Why now? And will Remy finally turn the entire industry upside down at this point? Oh, sweetie. Buckle up. Triangle hip-hop has never acknowledged the messiest love that we have just entered. And believe me, what will happen next? The hug appears to be foreplay as a result. Here's what actually transpired. We're not sugar either. Coding a fucking thing. With a single, subversive Instagram story, Claressa Shields, the self-described GWAT, just dropped a bomb on the hip-hop community. There was no warning or caption, just her and Papoose, Mr. Black Love himself, locking in an embrace that appeared far too well practiced to be genuine. This isn't just any old picture, so if you're new here, welcome to the year's biggest scandal. This was a well-planned, low-light, ideal angle shot that was taken as Papoose's wife and long time she is drowning in the tumultuous courtroom surrounding her son's murder case, ride or die. The intimacy is unmissable, and the timing is suspect. Everyone's stillness was more audible than any disc track. Let's clarify one issue. This has nothing to do with friendship. Claressa's position against that man's chest. Yeah, I know this. Looks bad. Baby, this hug wasn't a mistake. This was a move, a message, a mic drop for, Papoose said with a half smile, half smirk. The messiest triangle since Safri, Nicki, and Meek. Now, let's talk about the characters. First up is Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing champion with a vicious retort and an even more lethal Instagram strategy. She's loud, brazen, and unconcerned with what people think. She calls herself the realest in the room, and after this post, she may also be the pettiest. Next up is Papoose, Mr. Loyalty, the man who created an entire branded as the most devoted husband in rap history, the same man who waited for Remy to return home for 6 years outside the prison gates, wrote love letters, poems, and songs, and was dubbed the blueprint by some, but that blueprint just broke in front of 4 million followers. Of course, Remy the Queen Pin, born in the Bronx, razor-tonged, and fearless, is now facing criticism from all sides. Her son is facing a. Sources close to Remy say this isn't the first time Claressa has gone too far. One anonymous assistant claims that Claressa has had feelings for Papoose since they first met backstage at an award show in 2022. She's being dragged into court whispers of obstruction, and while she's barely holding her name together, her husband is out here posing like a free agent. Claressa reportedly told him that she thought Nicki was wise, disciplined, and low-key fine. At the time, everyone assumed that this was just girl behavior, but guess who kept showing up at private events? Guess who began posting inspirational boxing quotes beneath his posts? Guess who DM'd him a video of her working out in the same color sweatshirt he wore during a BET cypher? Coincidence? Please. The photo was carefully curated, with Claressa's hand visible, her nails done, her diamond bracelet glinting, Papoose's head turned just enough to show he wasn't pushing her away, and the angle taken from behind someone else's shoulder, indicating a third person was involved. Let's move on to the hug, as that's what broke the timeline. No one had the idea to suggest, hey, maybe don't post this while the wife is literally on trial by association. A third person stood there, saw what happened, and decided to hit record. Ray's response was immediate. She didn't write a notes app statement, and didn't even give Papoose a call. Instead, sis started right away. Then came the real dagger, a mysterious tweet that read, "I gave y'all loyalty and you gave me PR stunts." No name, no tag, just smoke. Within 30 minutes of the story being released, Remy had erased every photo she had of Papoose from her grid. It was as if he had never sat next to her on Wendy Williams' couch discussing loyalty. One user wrote, "Remy just Beyoncé demming pics and dropping bars, sparking a Twitter frenzy." Another said, "Claressa switched between sparring in the ring. For what are you fighting?" Because now, instead of merely speculating, fans are looking into it. TikTokers are syncing her workout videos to Papoose's recent tracks in search of subliminals, and one user says the beat on her most recent promo video matches a song by Papoose. Reddit threads have emerged analyzing her eye contact during the hug. Is this petty? Of course, but welcome to the internet. The evidence is stacked in the court of public opinion, but the real kicker is that this scandal is leaking into Remy Ma's legal world. One courthouse source claims that Ray's defense team is not happy with the sudden attention. This drama isn't just messy, it's distracting. We're trying to keep things civil. After concentrating on a murder trial, memes and fan theories began to flood the courtroom inbox. 2 days later, guess who appeared outside the courthouse? Clarissa's shields, sunglasses, and security. When asked if she was there to support Remy, she merely replied, "I'm just here for the truth." Be serious, ma'am. Rumor has it that she simply walked the steps, took a look, and never even entered the building. Remy, according to sources close to her, has been calling her legal team constantly, asking if there is a way to block media access to the trial. Some say she is preparing a private sit-down interview, while others say she plans to file for separation from Papoose quietly for the time being. She dipped like it was a red carpet, as if she were starring in her own reality show. But let's face it, nothing is quiet anymore. A woman's brand was built on being the strongest, a man's name was built on being the most loyal, and one hug was just one silent photo that tore the entire image apart. And we haven't even reached the burner phone messages yet because, yes, there is more. This story is no longer about an embrace, it's about a narrative. A suspiciously Clarissa-like lady writes in a memo received hours after the photo went viral, "I told him they'd call me a home wrecker, but he said the home's been wrecked." In any case, things are about to blow up. What is she saying? Papoose told her that the marriage was already dead. Is this how she defended the post, or is this just another cleverly inserted remark to keep the focus spinning? An anonymous PR insider claims that someone is going to release screenshots, so let's get messy. Because just when we thought Clarissa's hug controversy was already chaotic, a supposed close friend of hers just released voice memos and screenshots that sent the internet into a whirlpool of gossip. And these weren't just ambiguous little quotes about cryptocurrency, oh, no, darling. These were straightforward, unfiltered, and dripping with a sort of metaphorically, of course, petty energy can transform a romantic triangle into a full-fledged case of celebrity homicide. In the voice note that was leaked, a woman who sounds exactly like Claressa Shield says, "He told me he ain't been happy in years. The marriage, he informed me, was a brand. It was just ever that. And he informed me that the only person who gives him a sense of authenticity is me. Now stop. Simmer that since if, and that's a big if, Papoose apparently claimed that it's character assassination rather than merely cheating. And it's emotional treason for a man to have created whole mixtapes professing his love for Remy while she was incarcerated. But hold on, things get worse. Papoose allegedly messages Clarissa in the screenshots, saying things like, "We need to move more strategically. They're watching right now. Don't post anything for a long." Well, guess what, Pap? She put the let's talk about public reactions because this thing went viral like an unreleased Drake and Kendrick D song. Within hours of the voice memo leaking, #Papoose singing was trending on Twitter, with fans dragging him for dirt with memes that compared him to every fake loyal man in history. One person even changed the black love logo to say backstab love. And that's where the internet crowned Claressa Shields the new queen of I Said What I Said, folks. When it went viral, Remy Ma fans weren't just upset, they were organizing. A group of supporters from the Bronx started a whole #ProtectRemy movement, accusing Claressa of emotional opportunism and demanding that companies cut ties with her. The brands, noticed. A major energy drink that sponsors Claressa's fights reportedly suspended their partnership, citing unethical behavior and a breach of personal ethics, and another boxing brand unfollowed her in a discreet manner, but Claressa is out here doubling down like she's in a battle with the entire rap game. On Instagram Live, she informed followers, "I don't care what narrative y'all running with." The fans caught it and made sure screenshots flew quicker than Claressa's. Who I *CK with is what I post. Perhaps you should inquire as to why it resonates with you if it makes you uncomfortable. No retractions, no apologies, only vibes, ma'am, she stated that with her chest. Only fueled the flames. But wait, here's the bombshell. Apparently, Claressa Shields and Papoose have been secretly spotted together 6 times in the last 4 months, including at a private suite at a Brooklyn Nets game, a Harlem restaurant that has a no-phone policy, and most scandalously, a Miami spa retreat. This report was released by a verified gossip blogger who is known for exposing industry mess. The disrespect is surgical at this point, as the same blogger claims to have a blurry screenshot of hotel security footage from 2 weeks prior to the Instagram hug that shows Claressa and Papoose entering a hotel room together at 11:42 p.m. and not leaving until 9:27 a.m. the following day. The incident took place at a Miami spa while Remy was in New York attending court hearings for her son. Marinate. Naturally, Claressa's team called it a fake right away, claiming Photoshop misrepresentation and that the old-fashioned people will stop at nothing to gain influence. However, they didn't deny it, nor did they say that we weren't at that hotel or that Pap wasn't speaking. Since this scandal isn't just going to be online, let's move to the courtroom. Remy Ma's trial presence is beginning to suffer. According to sources, she missed a crucial court date last week, and although her legal team cited personal stress, insiders claim she had a private breakdown after seeing the leaked screenshots. "I held him down for years. I gave up my freedom for him and he gave me this," one source, a courtroom clerk with a friend in security, whispered. Fans are calling for Pap to speak up, to say something, anything at all, but the silence is deafening because when you built your reputation, your focus, and your composure, Remy is destroying them. This is why she said she wanted to throw a chair at the TV. Now, listen, whether that's true or not, what matters is this. People assume the worst when a whole brand based on love, loyalty, and protection disappears amid the controversy. Remy's longtime buddy Fat Joe gave his own discreet perspective by tweeting a single emoji, fire. No explanation, no caption. One member responded, "Even Fat Joe said this house is burning to the ground, but we're not done because guess who just entered the chat?" Fans quickly linked it to the drama. Smith Yendi. Indeed, sometimes the ones who look loyal on TV be the messiest behind closed doors, claimed Yendi, a member of the hip-hop and love community, in an Instagram comment. That has since been removed. Ask me how I know. Fans started tagging Remy right away after seeing the comment under a Shade Blog's post about Claressa and Pap. One fan even wrote, "Yendi got tea and she's itching to spill it. And chili, that was a bullet with a lace front." What precisely? Is it that Yendandi knows? Is this drama older than we initially believed? Were there additional female participants? Claressa's uppercut is not getting as deep as the rabbit hole. And right as this online war was peaking, Remy Ma posted her first video since the hug scandal. No words, just her walking slowly in all black shades on with a caption, "Funeral vibe." And the funeral vibe made the fans go crazy. Is it for her? It turns out that someone from the hotel staff just sold an anonymous interview to a podcast, claiming that Claressa and Pap checked in under the names Miss Steele and Mr. Warner. Is she saying she's about to bury them both, figuratively, or for Claressa's reputation? But here's the thing, those are Papoose's government surname and a boxing alias Claressa used early in her career. That's not just petty, it's strategic. Fans are now wondering if this is a long-term plot, if Claressa is attempting to manipulate Remy into crumbling in court, or if this is all a front for something more serious. One extremely wild theory on TikTok suggests that this whole situation may be a diversion from a much larger secret that Ray has been concealing. Apparently, the PI had a wiretap that unintentionally captured audio from a conversation Claressa had while staying at a hotel in Miami. And now, if you're wondering, wait, who is she talking? He told me she was already in too deep, that her name was on the wrong documents, and that if it came out, she goes down first. This is about cover-ups, paper trails, and potential legal exposure. But who is the she? Remy, and what are the documents? Well, a second leaked memo may hold the answer. According to that same source, a burner phone, yes, another burner phone, was recovered from a former assistant of Remy Ma. Join the club because this suggests something much bigger than an Instagram cuddle post. Text threads indicating a payout. Agreement between Remy and someone involved in the Darius Gielbo murder case, the same case where her son is on trial for You Still With Us because it gets wilder, were found inside. It seems that Claressa and Papoose may have been aware of this the entire time, and one thread suggests that Pap attempted to disassociate himself from the paper trail by pressuring Remy to approve everything under her name. One purported message from Papoose reads, "Keep it clean. Keep it beneath her. I don't need heat on me." If accurate, this suggests that Claressa's hug reveal may have been a public warning shot, a subdued way of saying, "Don't make me talk," rather than a sign of love. Remy may have finally understood because, following days of disappearing, she reappeared, not on social media or in a studio, in a private meeting with her legal team and, based to rumors circulating in the courthouse, an FBI liaison. That's right, we said FBI. The reason for this is that the evidence from the burner phone may have moved from messy drama into the realm of federal investigation. Some are even claiming that this is the start of a full-fledged celebrity RICO case. If you think that sounds dramatic, you haven't been paying much attention to the music industry lately. Let's get the facts straight. Claressa Shields posts an embrace but drops it like a clue. She is linked to deeper secrets, wiretaps, burner phones, and now alleged hush money behind the scenes. Remy Ma begins to disappear from public view, deletes photos, and cancels interviews. Papoose remains silent and MIA, as if he dipped before the explosion. Then comes the twist. An industry source told a well-known podcast that Claressa Shields has been silently blackballed from This Is the Theory. Claressa wasn't just exposing Papoose, she was sending a message to everyone involved in Remy's legal drama, essentially saying, "I know things and I'm not afraid to make them public." As a result of her allegedly threatening to release a second wave of receipts involving 2 major rap labels and a female veteran artist with legal exposure, fans began guessing names right away, but Remy Ma kept coming up. And this isn't about love if that's the case. It has to do with power. There are now rumors all over the place, the courtrooms are being watched, and Papoose, the once spotless husband, is being investigated for financial ties to private accounts allegedly used to move money. One TikTok theory even suggested that the hug post was part of a blackmail tactic in which Claressa allegedly threatened Ray's team not to let her name be brought up in the case or else she would release the full audio for Miami. Remy didn't listen. Do you want to know what those accounts were called? One was Rebirth LLC, and the other was Bronx B3. Both were shell companies with no official business activity, and they were allegedly connected to one of Ray's former assistants. Claressa tweeted one thing on the day those account names were leaked: "It's never about the first punch. It's about the knockout." The public went completely crazy at this point because they were no longer merely speculating, but speculated about whether Claressa was working with the federal government the entire time, whether Papoose had flipped before Remy ever suspected it, whether this close embrace was merely a diversion while they were moving pieces behind the scenes, and Remy's silence. The judge rejected her team's last-ditch attempt to obtain an emergency injunction to prevent specific content from airing in court, which was deafening because the audio wasn't stolen but rather voluntarily turned over by an anonymous whistleblower, You. already know who fans believe that whistleblower is, so we're left with this hug that rocked the internet. Another question is whether Clarissa's shields destroyed a marriage or merely exposed what was already broken, whether Papoose is the villain or simply fed up with acting, and whether Remy Ma, the woman who has endured public betrayal, industry shade, and prison, is about to rise from the ashes, or is this the last blow to her legendary image? Some claim Claressa is merely a clout chaser, while others say she's a silent "it's your turn now." Leave a comment below. Is Claressa a home wrecker or a whistleblower? Should Papoose have spoken up sooner? Will Ray's silence become more than words? We have sealed burner phones. Hero who exposed the rot behind the Black Love brand. In any case, one thing is clear, this wasn't about love, this was about leverage. This is another exclusive leak from Gossip Spill Vibe, and trust us, the next one is already in the works. Documents, leaked wiretaps, and more tea than the shade room on peril. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because, baby, this triangle just turned into a square, and someone is going to be erased. We'll meet up when it falls.